Road Trips and Missing Persons by Adriana in the Snow. Chapter 5. Emil hummed a quick tune as he pulled into the grocery store parking lot near his apartment. He'd just finished his last session of the day with Kai, and Remy had asked that he watch Virgil this evening after work, and possibly this weekend, so Emil was picking up something to cook for dinner before he headed over there. He was going to grab ingredients to make Virgil's favorite dinner, spaghetti and meatballs. Well, his actual favorite dinner was pineapple pizza from the local pizza joint, but Emil wanted to serve the boys something at least somewhat healthy for once in his life. That in mind, he went straight to the pasta aisle. While contemplating which of the spaghetti noodles he should grab, he noticed a man with a cart also perusing the aisle. He glanced at the contents of the man's cart. "That's a lot of cheese there, friendo," he commented. "I'm trying to make homemade macaroni and cheese," the man divulged with a smile. "That's always fun," Emil replied, smiling back himself. "I've never done it before. Do you have any suggestions for noodles?" How about the shell ones?" "Ooh, like the box Velveeta shell macaroni, but better," he enthused. "Aw, they have mini ones." He snatched the box excitedly. "They're so cute." "They are," Emil agreed, as he finally selected the whole wheat store-brand spaghetti and slid it into his cart. "Thanks for the suggestion. Have a nice day," the man said and turned to leave. "Bye," Emil called after him. He then continued on his quest, grabbing pasta sauce and a lot of fresh vegetables to sneak into the canned sauce, as well as to leave in his brother's home with the hopes that either his brother or his nephew might actually eat something healthy for once if it was right there. Doubtful, but Emil could hope. He then spent an inordinate amount of time debating which popcorn to get. Emil was thinking tonight would be a good night for movies with Virgil, and Virgil's favorite snack was popcorn. He really should get the less buttery one, but he knew that Virgil liked buttery popcorn more. Perhaps he should compromise and get plain popcorn, but that one healthier ranch-flavored powdered topping that he liked. Decided, he grabbed the popcorn and the topping and went to exit the snack food aisle. "Hey!" A man with a mustache drew his attention away from his task. "My friend lost his little brother in this store. Have you seen a younger teenager walking around alone here? We think he might have gone to the snack food aisle." Emil frowned. "No, I haven't seen anyone. I hope you find him soon." "Thanks," the man said, already distracted with looking around again. "Maybe try the front desk," Emil suggested. "They could call over the intercom." "My brother's already there," the man said, waving the suggestion off. "But thanks." "Well, good luck," Emil said as the man walked away toward the back of the store. Gee, it took him almost 40 minutes to get groceries, he realized when he glanced at his phone in the checkout aisle. He shouldn't have let himself get that distracted. Once he'd paid for the groceries, he took everything to his car and shoved them in the back seat. Right as he was about to stick his key in the ignition, he got a text message from his secretary. "Kai forgot his phone in your couch again, but your office is locked. Are you able to swing by really quick to let him in?" He texted back, "Sure, I'll be there in 5. He wasn't going to keep Kai away from his phone for the night, and it wasn't like the groceries he grabbed were extremely time-sensitive, so he drove back to the office. Kai seemed thankful for his willingness to drive all the way back, even if his thank you was rather distracted, as he was already typing something on his phone the moment after Emil handed it back to him. He said goodbye to Kai and to his secretary and hopped back into his car, intending to drive to Remy's house. He just started the car when his phone started to ring. "Yellow," he said cheerfully. "Emil." The serious voice greeted on the other end of the line. "This is Logan Sanders." Emil sobered immediately. "Hi, Logan. Is something wrong? Do you have a patient for me?" "No, actually," Logan said. "It's about your brother." Emil froze. "What about my brother?" he asked. "Remy is on light duty." "He was, yes," Logan said. "However, there was a complication." "What type of complication?" Emil said, and a bit of anger came to his tone unbidden. "He was specifically targeted," Logan said, and despite the calm way he spoke, Emil could detect the distress in his tone. "I'm very sorry, but he's dead." "Oh, God. What about Virgil?" "That's the other thing," Logan continued. "As soon as I heard of Mr. Gates' death, I dispatched an agent to his house for protection, but when he arrived, his son was not there. There were signs of a break-in, but the perpetrator's car was still there, and my agent believes Virgil fled the scene and was followed on foot. My agent is currently searching for him." "There's a but," Emil concluded. There was a slight pause, just enough to tell Emil he wasn't nearly as unaffected as he was pretending to be. I haven't heard from that specific agent in over half an hour. Okay, Emil gulped, suddenly feeling sick to his stomach. There were hundreds of explanations for that, but many of them were bad. Okay, I'll go look for him myself, since I know him and where he might go. I'll... His voice cracked a bit. Call you if I find anything. All right, and I'll... But whatever Logan was going to say was lost as a hand touched Emil's shoulder. Emil screamed and tossed his phone as he accidentally slammed his elbow into the car horn, making it blare. Calm down, it's just me, said a voice. Frickin' frozen shiitake mushrooms, terrible tiger fish paste, and cabbages, Remington! You could curse like a normal person, Emil. And you could not break into my car like a normal person, Emil shot back, turning around in his seat to face his older brother. I'll presume you're not dead then. Aw, were you worried about me? He asked. Violence is never the answer. At least that's what he told his patients. Emil punched his shoulder the best he could from this angle. It clearly didn't hit too hard as Remy just laughed. Sorry, Em, he said, reaching forward to ruffle his hair. Emil slapped him away. What happened? He asked. Megabitch X decided she wanted me shot in the head, and I decided I didn't want that. What does that mean? Emil asked. It means, Remy answered, I faked my own death, and while she thought I was dead. He dug something out of his pocket and dangled it in front of him. It was a flash drive. I stole this. What is it? Super secret spy business. Remy. All that matters is that she really shouldn't have it, and Logan will be very happy I got it away from her. Speaking of Logan, Emil had dropped his phone when Remy had surprised him, and the call had ended. He picked up the phone. I should call him back. The phone was slapped out of his hand the second he picked it up. What the criff, Remy? Please, just say fuck, I beg of you, Remy groaned. The phone started ringing again from its place on the floor. Doubtlessly it was Logan, since the last thing he'd heard was Emil screaming like he was being murdered. I need to answer that, Remy, Emil said with a frown. You can't. It's too risky. You literally just said you stole it for Logan. Why can't I just answer the phone, say Remy's fine actually, and he has a super secret spy flash drive to give to you? Because you don't say shit like that over the telephone, Remy told him while starting to wiggle his way into the front seat. We're going to take this thing to Logan in person, and no one can know I'm alive until then. I know you're alive, Emil pointed out. Remy grabbed Emil's phone when it stopped ringing and hit the power button to turn it off. He stuck it into his pocket. Family doesn't count, Remy said. Also, I needed a ride. Are you really going to keep my phone hostage this whole time? And also, what happened to your car? It, blew up, Remy said. Emil stared at him blankly. Yeah. So anyway. What do you mean it blew up? Emil asked. I said anyway. Saying anyway doesn't just mean that I magically forget whatever you just said. Remy waved that off. Anyway, he said again, we'll have to pick up Virgil and do something with him. I'm not leaving him alone during this. Right. I assume since you're not dead that Virgil isn't actually missing, Emil concluded, but instead of agreeing and telling Emil where Virgil was to go pick him up, there was silence. Virgil is what?